Got a 6F35 transmission here. Came out of a 2015 Ford, what was it, Escape. Okay, now this has been cleaned out. There's valve body things there. But what I want to show you is the Ford Escape was having a whining sound. After it whined about maybe not 5 minutes, maybe 3 minutes of a steady running, you would lose reverse. Now what I want to show you is, you see this magnet here, there's a lot of metal on this magnet. If you look in the pan here, which is actually the side cover, it has this metal right there. This is very fine metal. Okay, now this metal is the type of metal, is some here, that will cause valves to stick. When you get that type of metal in there, there's a good chance that you're going to have valves in that valve body that's going to stick. And it's probably better just to take that valve body, get rid of it, get a good used valve body that had no metal like that, or to get a rebuilt valve body. Now, big chunks of metal doesn't cause valves to stick, but that fine metal will. A big chunk, unless a part of it gets stuck in between the valve, won't cause it to stick. Now here I got this pump loose, and this pump here has valves in it, and I want to show you right here. Here's some of the metal on this little screwdriver, but this valve here is sticking. Okay, it's hard to. Now I was able to push it there, and as I push it this way, let me put it here. You can see it stays right there. So right here it stays in that position. Okay, now that's going against the spring. It should be back up here. So push this back, and it stays right there. It went back here in this position. Okay, this one here on this side doesn't appear to be sticking here. You can even hear it. See it moving. So what's going to have to happen is this valve, every valve, it's only two of them, one and two, is going to have to come out, and this is going to have to be cleaned, especially until this valve moves freely, all of them. Now again, if you have valves like this sticking, this is in the pump, then you're going to probably have valve sticking in the valve body. So the valve body have way more valves than this one. If you can't get this one to be free, then you're going to have to get another pump too. And you're going to have to put another torque converter in there, and it's probably best to put a transmission cooler inside the transmission also. You can try to flush it, but again, this very fine metal is what's dangerous to stick in these valves. And you probably don't want to go through taking this back out because there's a sticking valve. Okay? So when you hear that whining sound, most of the time it's the torque converter that is the thing that's going bad. Okay? This is 6F35. This is a 2015 what is it, Ford Escape. This one right up there. Let me go right here. That Ford Escape right here. We got the transmission out. This is not an all-wheel drive either. So it's a nice one, but they have problems with the torque converter going bad, and you're getting that whining sound. In fact, I believe we have another one that we got to deal with. Let's go back over here. There's the case. I'm going to make sure we understand that this is the B1. Now another thing, once this is finished, there's a shift strategy, solenoid strategy that's here that has to be programmed if you get another valve body and another controller. Now I'm getting this controller and a valve body from the dealer. Again, I do not want to worry about something sticking. And then I'm going to go here and try to get this unstuck. If I can't get it unstuck, I'm stuck with getting another pump. Also, one thing I want to show you is you want to make sure this here is in good condition. Okay, because that little fine metal from the torque converter can act as sandpaper, and as the gear is turning, it can score this pretty bad. So you may want to take some very light, high numbered sandpaper and smooth this out, and then look on the back of the gears, which is over here, and if these are scored, you want to sand those out too. Okay, look like it's kind of rough, and you want to make that smooth. Alright, now I have this valve out here, and I use this a combination. Actually, I had a couple of these brush buddies, and you can tell on this valve when you look at it, you can see the light part over. This is where it's been scratching right there. So scratches right on that valve right there. So I am going to just use some very light sandpaper and smooth this here. See the scratches on there? So that's the valve that was stuck inside here. After I finish that and try to get it moving smoothly against the spring pressure, then I am going to go to this valve here. Now when I moved it, it didn't snap back, and here's the spring that should have snapped it back, but it was too stuck where the spring pressure couldn't overcome the obstruction. Okay, so let me see if I can get this to move up and down smoothly. I gotta do this. Alright, this is I cleaned that valve up, and you can see I can now move this easy back and forth. Okay, I just cleaned it up just a bit. I cleaned this one up too, and I can move both of those back and forth, but this is what you have to do, just a light sand of the valve, and then it can move freely, and the bore. Alright.